Probably one project that I don't own the project, but I am one of the chief investigators on, and that's a diabetes prevention project with the Samoan community in southwest Sydney.
Right, this is the one that we kind of talked about at the research
That's
showcase.
That's right. Yeah, I was presenting my PhD student's poster because she was doing some work for me that day. But this is an amazing project. So this is actually being run by Freya McMillan, who's one of the early career researchers who I spoke about earlier. And we're working with Professor David Simmons, so he's a professor in diabetes and endocrinology at Western Sydney Uni, and he also runs the diabetes service at Campbelltown Hospital. So this project is superb because what it is, it's a community-based research project where we go out into the community and we recruit volunteers from the community to implement or to deliver a lifestyle intervention project, because the trouble with the Samoan community is that they have really high rates of diabetes, but also really high rates of risk factors for diabetes like increased weight, not great diets, eating too much food and minimal physical activity, just because of, the culture and the way that, that they sort of brought their lives across from Samoa. And it's difficult because back there they had agriculture and farming and much more physical lifestyles, whereas here they're stuck in that same lifestyle that everyone else is. So this project's really cool because we've actually got a Samoan community coach who we employ, Rhonda. She's amazing. So she's actually trained a whole bunch of peer supporters, we call them, in a group of churches across southwest Sydney to actually deliver this intervention. And so there's a whole series of workshops that have been running for the past few months, workshops around increasing your steps, increasing your physical activity, drinking more water, introducing fibre into your diet, eating more fruits and veggies. So really, really simple lifestyle messages. But it's just been incredible. I wish you'd been at the health showcase at Research Week a couple of weeks ago. So, the same week I met you. The day before, we had one of the peer supporters from the local church at Minto. She presented to a whole bunch of stakeholders and researchers in the university. And I think she brought half of the audience to tears because she said about how everyone in their church has lost lots of weight. A visitor came to the church and they commented on how healthy everyone was looking, and it's just really changed the whole mentality of the church. They've changed the food that they eat, they've changed the activities they do, so it's just had a massive impact. And that's what I'm talking about with impact. Like, that's had real life impact on that church, and that's just one of 4 churches where we've been running this project. So it's just been superb, and it's so rewarding when someone's standing there saying, thanks so much to the doctors and professors at Western Sydney University because you've changed our lives. So that is an awesome project, and we're hoping that will actually scale up next year. And we're hoping to get funding from the NHMRC to actually scale up to lots more churches across Western Sydney. So that's a pretty cool project. I'm really lucky to be involved in that.
That is a very cool project. What I like is the simplicity in the approach.
That's right. And also getting the community involved. So this project actually took probably about 18 months to get underway because we actually had we've got a reference group where, there's members of the Samoan community, the High Commissioner from Canberra, GPs, lots of really important people, but also regular community members. And so we meet with them every 3 months, and we actually work with them to develop the project and to make sure that it was appropriate and that it was being delivered at the right level to the community. So that's been probably one of the best things, is that the community had ownership of the whole project at the very beginning. Right. But it is simple. It's a really cool project.
And ownership would be very important.
Absolutely.
Because then they'll be motivated to actually do it.
That's right. And so all of our research now, so even the work we're doing with breast screening and with the culturally and linguistically diverse communities in cancer screening, even though it seems as though we're just talking to people to see what the barriers are, this is actually the engagement stage where we're trying to meet different members of the community so that as the research moves forward, we can actually engage that community in helping us either deliver the intervention, help us to develop the intervention so that there is a sense of ownership. Because there's lots of research out there now that shows you if there's community ownership, it's much more effective. Yeah,
for sure.